Every now and then, I find a passenger car like this. The whole car is a solid red. It's surprisingly common with Athearn Blue Box Norfolk and Western passenger cars. In this case, the car in question is lettered for the Canadian Pacific Railway. This is not a look I typically associate with Canadian Pacific heavyweights, although I did find a photo online of a wood-sided coach restored like this. To each their own in the model railroad world, but to me, Canadian Pacific heavyweights need a black roof. Time to bust out the masking tape and a rattle can. If painting the roof black makes me a hoser, I guess a hoser I shall be. God, I've been watching too many Rapido videos. Masking tape really does all the heavy lifting when it comes to painting. Wherever the tape is tight on the model, the paint does not go. Wherever the tape is loose or not even applied in the first place, the paint goes. I'm very much a learning modeler compared to many others out there, but there's a reason why I bring you all along for the ride. The masking tape is really the most critical element of this job. Like I said, if the tape is too loose or not stuck down right, you'll get paint where you don't want it. I tried something different on this job where I used hobby masking tape right at the spot where I wanted the black paint and the existing red paint to border each other, then used the ubiquitous blue painter's tape to cover the rest of the model. Somewhere in this process, I noticed some shapes in the paint that looked like the letters NTA, and soon discovered that this car was custom done by someone who had repainted it from its factory Santa Fe paint. The car came to me from a large collection being parted out, and the previous owner seems to have been quite a painter himself. It really is surprising the history that can tie into some models. Anyways, once the car was fully masked up, I added a little more tape to make sure it stayed on my handling board and got out the flat black Testors Rust-Oleum rattle can. At this point, the car was really reminding me of the Strasburg Railroad's cocooned coaches awaiting restoration. Here we are outside with the camera for the first time, and here goes the painting. Keep an ear out for how long I press down the nozzle and note my technique. As you see, I'm using really quick bursts of paint and alternating directions back and forth as I work along the length of the car. Rattle cans put out a lot of paint in a really short time frame, so bursts like this seem to help moderate how much paint goes onto the model and help the end result to come out a little more smooth. Once I'm satisfied that I've covered everything I need to cover, I bring the model back inside and let it dry for a little bit. I began to pull the masking tape off once the car was partially dry. Now this is a dangerous move, but I just wanted to be sure that I hadn't made a mistake with the masking tape. It's easier to clean up paint overrun with wet paint than dry. I was pleased to see, however, that the paint was pretty much right where I wanted it. I let the paint dry to the point where I could see very few, if any, wet spots reflecting from the bench light. Then I reassembled the car. I still let it sit on the workbench overnight to make sure the paint had the chance to dry thoroughly. Well, there it is. To me, the car now has that Canadian Pacific Railway family look to it. Here's a before and after for your own judgment. Painting models can be a little intimidating to a beginner, but with a little practice, it's fairly easy to pick up. I have painted maybe a half dozen models at this point using basically the same method described here. Yes, in future I do plan on getting an airbrush, but for now, this gets most jobs done. At any rate, stay safe out there, and enjoy the world's greatest maple syrup hobby.